Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, or you find a way to lose. Turn this fan off, man. Bing, 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 bing. What do you make of this right here? Deontay Wilder. Yeah, my God. He's working with Matchroom now. Let me tell you something, right? Just look at this. What do you think about this image right here? Look at Deontay Wilder's face, man. Who do you think is winning in this picture? I would have never, ever thought that, let me fix this hat, that Deontay Wilder would be working with Eddie Hearn. But you know what this shows you? Is when it comes to all Turkey al Sheikh, when it comes to that Saudi money, that can heal a lot of old wounds, and it can make people push their differences aside. But I'm gonna tell you, I would have never in 1,000 years thought that Deontay Wilder, with everything he said about AJ and Eddie Hearn, and I don't even know how to process this, But at the same time, it's supposed to be a one-fight deal, which I'm surprised that it's, at least they're telling us it's a one-fight deal. But believe you me, if Deontay Wilder wins, it's going to turn into more than a one-fight deal. But Deontay Wilder had to work with Eddie Hearn just to make it a Matchroom versus Queensberry affair, for the 5 versus 5. But when you look at where Deontay Wilder's career was, till this day, and all that other stuff, right? I just, see, I think Deontay Wilder has character. I think he has character. But there's some people out here who are kind of ripping him right now, because they're saying Deontay Wilder has tucked his tail between his legs and has become okay with being the B side against a B-level fighter in Zhang. So they're saying Wilder is the B side, Zhang's the A side. Zhang's a B-level fighter, which they're suggesting that Wilder is a C-level fighter right now, a D-level fighter. And they feel that this is an act of desperation for Wilder to go wherever he can find some kind of love to get a paycheck. And let me tell you something, right? I'm a boxing fan. I don't have a favorite fighter. When I root for Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder, it's because of the storyline about the kids. Like, that just hits home with me. But Wilder's not my favorite fighter. My two favorite fighters were Zab Judah and Chris Bird. But there are some die-hard Deontay Wilder fans. You see that till this day thing he did that went viral? There are a lot of people who felt like, and I'm not even trying to be funny, man, that Deontay Wilder represented for American black people as a fighter, and using his platform, that he was representing for Americans and for black people. That to this day thing, it just hit home with a lot of people. Wilder even was out here feeling like he was the leader and all kind of stuff. And there were some people out here who felt like Wilder, if he wanted to, because of how passionate he would speak about things and the injustices going on with black people, and him being from the South, especially Alabama, There's some stuff this man has experienced, and there's some things that still happen out there when it comes to race relations that could use some improvement, right? But no way in a million years that some of his die-hard fans ever think he would go over there and work with Eddie Hearn, who he has referred to as Massa. Anthony Joshua's Massa, master. And to see him over there with Massa, or his master now, that's what some people are saying. They're just like, the world is coming to an end. And to that I say, the world's not coming to an end. Deontay Wilder's career is coming to an end. And he needed a lifeline. Couldn't get it from Al Heyman. Didn't really have any other options. And Eddie Hearn is a businessman. You know Eddie Hearn puts money before anything. You could slap Eddie Hearn. And Eddie Hearn will still do business with you if there's a few $1 million on the table. But I'm telling y'all right now, Wilder talking about he lost his passion for the sport, the love for the sport, the closest people next to him he doesn't have next to him anymore. You just never know what these fighters are going through. Man cut his hair off. So, you know, I don't know what's happening with Deontay Wilder, man. But when it comes to him and Zhang, you see, as I'm talking, I'm thinking, you know, because when I look at that image, Wilder and Eddie Hearn, right? When I look at this right here, Eddie Hearn looks like he's in total control. He's got all the power. Eddie Hearn looks like he is the man. He looks like he's one of those, I have the upper hand, and he's enjoying it. But what's Deontay Wilder supposed to do? You know, it looks like he has the fire back. He wants to continue with his career. What's he supposed to do? Is he supposed to just not fight because of his pride? You know, at the end of the day, when the dust settles, you got to see how much money he has in his bank account. He still has a family, right? Somebody brought up, he said he doesn't need boxing anymore. So if he doesn't need boxing anymore, why is he messing around with Eddie Hearn, somebody who he said he had zero respect for? How can you go over there and work with somebody like that? And what I say is, maybe it's turkey out of sheep that's like, listen, I understand the history, but I need you fighting on this card. Put your differences aside for this. Don't show him any ill will, and go out there and you guys be on the same accord when you're in front of those cameras. You know, maybe that's what's going on. But, you know, one thing I know for sure, Eddie Hearn's not going to come out and say something disrespectful about Deontay Wilder 6 months from now, a year from now. You know, he doesn't do that. He may say something behind closed doors and in confidentiality with a certain person or persons, right? But he's not going to say nothing crazy. And I think Deontay Wilder truly appreciates the opportunity that he has in front of him. But I'm going to be honest with you. It's like I was talking about on the live today. Working with people who would say a bunch of horrible stuff about somebody. Horrible stuff about them, right? And then we'd be at a function, and they would be there in the same people's faces, shaking their hands, hugging their wives, all of us sitting at these banquets, eating together. And they're just he-ing with them. And I never understood that. And I used to ask questions. Because we'd get back to work the next week, and I'd just be looking at them. And I'm like, hey, let me ask you a question. How the F do you do that? And they'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you say horrible things about this person, about their family, about everything about them. But when you have these, we have these engagements we have to go to, you're there acting like you're their best friend. And you, from what I concluded, despise them. And what they used to tell me, this one individual, boy, he was horrible. He had a sickness, man. That man would, but I knew there was something wrong because he used to talk shit about his stepson. He had a son. It wasn't his, he married somebody who had a child. So it wasn't his child by blood, but he had the boy since he was like 4 years old. He raised him. So that's his child. But he was so ridiculous that the boy started getting into trouble. And he was like 17, 18, and he was like, that ain't my blood anyway. When he said that shit in the office, yeah, he's getting in trouble there, but that ain't my blood, so that explains why he's the way he is. When that guy made that comment, I was like, I never heard nothing like that. You know, I never in my life heard nobody talk like that about a child, especially a child they raise. Kids are going to get into shit. I got a 13-year-old. He out here getting into stuff. I got to tighten his ass up every now and then. But for it's the way he said it, it was just crazy to me. But once he said that, he said that like a little while after all that crap that I used to see him being, I call it being fake. But when he made that comment about his stepson, I said, oh yeah, ain't no hope for him. He's just got a sickness. But for me, I just can't do that. I can't do that. You know what I mean? A person can say, well, you're immature, you're not professional, you got to show growth. Man, get out of here. Quit taking it to the goddamn stupid. I just can't do it. So when I watch Deontay Wilder, but there's millions of dollars on the line, you know, what would I do? You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. I'm wired a little differently. If I don't like you, man, like that shit comes out my pores. You know, I can't hide it. I just can't hide it. But Deontay Wilder fighting Zhang, if he gets past Zhang, which is not going to be easy, then Wilder goes on to bigger and better. You know what I'm saying? And if he gets, and then we'll see what he's going to do next. He fights Hrgovic. He fights the winner of Hrgovic Dubois. We just have to wait and see. But what chance do you guys really give Deontay Wilder to beat Zhang? First 4 to 6 rounds. First 6 rounds is all Zhang, I think, unless Wilder can get the right hand off. After that, if Zhang gasses, Wilder may have a chance. And that's crazy that we're talking about that because Zhilei Zhang is not Dominic Brazil. Somebody was like, oh, well, he dropped Brazil. Zhang is not Brazil. So let's not take it to the stupid. Zhang is cut from a different cloth, man. But Wilder's not Joe Joyce. But I'm excited about the fight. Anything Wilder's in, you got to be excited about because you just don't know what's going to happen. And with Zhilei Zhang, he's proven that if he hits you, you're in trouble. So we just got to wait and see how that plays out. That being said, I'm not sure what to make of this whole thing with Wilder and Hearn. But I guess when there's that kind of money on the table, 10 million, 15 million, 50 million, 70 million, man, like I said, that can help heal overnight or immediately a lot of unresolved wounds, a lot of unresolved injuries. But I'm just surprised. I'm just surprised to see it. Just shocked. I'm just shocked. That being said, y'all keep cool. Y'all in the breeze.